Hello Orchid family. This video was a long time coming and I did send pictures to Rachel of my air plant, but I wanted to do a video. My growing space outside is not as pretty as it was, but I tried to put a few things back in place. But what I wanted to show is this Spanish moss, Telencia isnoides. When I started looking for videos online, I found Rachel, and I found Rachel's ode to life, saying that gardening is the answer, and it's very therapeutic with your hands in the soil, and that after she lost her son, she had a break a little bit, but then started gardening again. And I watched all the videos of Josh, and as a mother, it breaks your heart. No parent ever should have to endure that. Our children should outlive us, and not the other way around. And as sensitive as I am, I immediately had another piece of my Spanish moss and hang it apart. Because I know Josh sells air plants, and this particular air plant is very special to me. The first 3 years of my life, I have been moved around about 20 times from my mother back to my grandparents, because my grandparents took care of me because my mother couldn't. And my grandfather loved plants, and he had one ginormous piece of Spanish moss in the bathroom, and it hung from the ceiling all the way down to the floor, and I could not for the life of me think how that thing grew. I said to Grandpa, there must be fake, there are no roots, there's no pot. How can it grow from the ground up without a pot? Not understanding that it hangs from the ceiling and it's an air plant. I have this one hanging here since summer, and I have to put it inside because I think it's going to get too cold. But I added a little bit to my collection, and I will go inside and show you what I bought and what I collected. What's going to be one space for Josh when this moss comes inside. Be right back, I will show you. Okay, I'm inside. Everything you see is not placed yet on the proper places upstairs for a nice grow room and get the Telencia and the piglets together. But every time I go to a thrift store, I look for tiny piglet figurines to put in the spot when the Spanish moss comes inside, because I know Josh loved piglets. He loved green, he loved air plants. Well, he sold air plants for his project. Well, what she really did giftedly anyway. I watched the video, and he had a lot of passion for it. That's why I chose the air plant. And the succulent in there, I don't have an air plant yet, so I placed the succulent in the piglet planter. I wanted to do something special, so the air plant is going to go upstairs, the piglet's going to go upstairs in my grow room, the few figurines are going to go in my grow room upstairs on my desk. But I wanted to do something that fit with the feeling I get from growing for somebody else. Growing for somebody that's not there anymore means you keep their spirits alive. It means that you give energy and love and thought to that plant, to that person, to their soul. And I think if you're remembered, you're kind of immortal. And I think that with all the people in this Growing for Josh campaign, don't know the word, I think we're all keeping his spirit alive, and that sentiment got me growing. The Rachel's video of mustering on and gardening and putting your hands on the soil and celebrate life of your plants got me out of my depression when I lost the will to live. And it got me into orchids, it got me into growing, it got me into enjoying roots and new growths, and just mesmerized by the will to live of an orchid or a plant. Means for me that I also need to show the same will to live, and need to show and be just as resilient, because I've got a husband and a daughter to take care of, and that's the reason why I got a ginormous green bromeliad. It's not really an air plant and it's not really an orchid, but what's special about this is that it's green, that it's big, just as big as Rachel's heart, just as big as this community, just as big as the heart of this community, with an amazing pink flower that shows diversity and different colors and different assets and aspects of life, of this hobby, of the sentiment. And what's nice about the bromeliad and why I chose it is that when the mother plant flowered, it's monocarpic, so that means it dies. But before she goes, she makes pups, and those pups live on, and it's a continuous growing cycle of one plant flowering, maturing, dying, putting up pups, and keeping and flowering again, and so on and so forth. So actually, bromeliad for me means eternal life. It means that whatever happens, your spirit lives on, that whatever happens, you're remembered, you're carried on in something else. And Rachel, sweetie, I'm so sorry. You kind of saved my life, and I wanted to repay that with saving, cherishing the soul, your spirit of your son, and keeping his spirit alive by growing and thinking of him every time I watch and feed and water my plants that I grow for him. I always say a little prayer, and I believe in reincarnation. I believe in spirits still being there, and in energy, in Gaia. Well, look that up. It's the energy of life from Mother Earth, and ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Everything is connected and everything is made of energy, and that goes back to the main source. And I think sending love and thoughts and prayers keeps that energy alive. That's my take on life, and that's what it means to me. So I really hope Josh likes the bromeliad and the piglets and the air plant. The air plant is also very special to me, just as you are, Rachel, because you are an inspiration. You are the mother hen of all orchid growers. Your heart is so big, you're so resilient, just as an orchid, and I admire you immensely. And I'm out of words. As a mother, it's unfathomable. Never mind. As a mother, it's just too hard to think about losing your child, and therefore, I'm sorry, I'm so sentimental. But these are my plants and my figurines for Josh, which will get a permanent place in my semi-grow room on my desk. And I will try to find a place to hang the air plant, because I spray it daily. I can't really peg it on the wall because I will spoil the wallpaper. But I also don't want to put it up in the shower. Actually, in the shower are the 5 strands of Spanish moss I have that are separate, because they're in remembrance from my grandfather. And I want to keep them separate because both are special and both need their own time and remembrance. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I hope everybody would grow a plant in Josh's name, or in anybody else you've lost, anybody you miss and is not here anymore. Grow a plant in remembrance, because often, and grow a plant that like a bulb, it comes up every year. Grow something that's continuously growing and keep those spirits alive. This is my memorandum for Josh, and I will put the link to Rachel's video below. And thank you all for watching. Rose out.